My wife laughed first. That soft, confident laugh I once adored. The one that lit up rooms, won over strangers, and eased tensions. But tonight, it grated like shards of glass. Her eyes darted to her brother as she whispered something in Arabic, in that secretive, conspiratorial tone people use when they assume you're too much of an outsider to catch on. They chuckled. I smiled politely. Then I responded, in flawless Arabic. Her fork halted midway to her mouth. Her brother's smirk vanished. Her mother's gaze flicked between us, bewildered. The atmosphere thickened, heavy and still. That was the instant she knew I understood it all. We met 5 years ago in Dubai. She was the type of woman who stood out even in a bustling cafe. All warmth and enigma. Fluent in 3 languages and equally skilled at effortlessly reeling men in. I was there for work, a project manager haggling with her father's firm. She volunteered to translate a contract over coffee. I had no idea I was signing myself up for a future that would strip me of everything. She convinced me I belonged. In an unfamiliar city, with an unfamiliar language, yet beside her, I felt at home. She taught me Arabic, or at least enough to navigate everyday life. She laughed at my pronunciation mishaps, kissed me when I nailed a word. I didn't realize she was only sharing what she wanted me to know. The first fracture showed up a year ago. Subtle things. How she'd mute her phone the moment I walked in, the muffled calls from the kitchen, the trace of a man's cologne, not mine, lingering on her scarf. I convinced myself it was paranoia, that love shouldn't breed doubt. But love, I discovered, is the ideal cover for betrayal. I began spotting patterns. The extended meetings, hotel receipts that contradicted her tales, the identical car parked 2 blocks away every Thursday evening. It wasn't envy driving my scrutiny. It was gut feeling. When I uncovered the messages, I stayed calm. I pored over each one meticulously, word for word, like an unwitting admission she'd penned. Her lover, Keed, someone from her company's regional branch. She called him Habibi. I memorized the terms, the expressions, the fabrications. I didn't explode. I didn't accuse her. I just archived everything. And I started plotting. My revenge wasn't explosive. It was precise, calculated. First, I mastered her language for real. Every night, I immersed myself in podcasts, audiobooks, online classes. I craved mastery, not merely vocabulary, but inflection, subtlety, the art of deceit. I decoded exactly how she fibbed. Second, I consulted a lawyer on the sly. We dissected the prenuptial agreement she'd dismissed as routine. I uncovered her financial vulnerabilities. Her name wasn't on the apartment lease. Her accounts were joint, her credit tied to mine. Third, I compiled proof, the texts, the images, the receipts, sufficient to shatter any denial. Fourth, I bided my time. Patience is the most ruthless tool. That family dinner was her spotlight and my snare. We were at her parents' home for the first visit since my discovery. She looked stunning that evening, oblivious to stepping into her downfall. I acted the role, the courteous foreign husband, grinning through cultural gaps, until she cracked her joke. She leaned toward her brother, smirking, and said in Arabic, "He tries so hard, but he'll never truly get us. He's like a kid playing house." They laughed, and that's when I struck the spark. "Ahlan wa sahlan," I said. The room went dead silent. Then, in her tongue, steady and composed, and yet, for someone who doesn't understand, I've grasped plenty, especially the messages between you and Keed. Her face lost all color. Her father's grip tightened on his glass. Her mother murmured something under her breath. A prayer, perhaps. I set my phone on the table. The screen illuminated screenshots of her messages, neatly filed in a folder titled Truth. "I think," I said gently, "this family deserves transparency." No one uttered a word. The only noise was the steady, methodical tick of the wall clock behind her. She attempted to speak, denials, alibis, any facade within reach, but I silenced her with the killing strike. I've already consulted my lawyer. The lease, the accounts, the car, all in my name. You can remain here with your family tonight. I'll have someone retrieve your belongings tomorrow. Then I rose, nodded courteously to her father, and exited. I didn't glance back. Not at her, not at the house. I wanted her final view of me to mirror her first, composed, distant, unreadable. Outside, the desert air felt chillier than I recalled. I inhaled deeply, and for the first time in months, it didn't ache. They say revenge doesn't mend. Maybe that's accurate. But it sharpens. It scorches away deceptions until only truth remains.